Hi, this is Shubham, and in this video, you will extensively learn about the indirect function available in Microsoft Excel with 5 different examples. So, let us start. So, Excel indirect function is basically returns a valid for cell reference from a given text string. And indirect is useful for when you want to assemble a text value that can be used as a valid reference. So I will give you some different examples in this particular video so that you can understand how indirect function can be useful for you as well. So let us start with the very basic and fundamental. So I will be using indirect function with two different kinds of approaches. The first one is, so let us start equals to indirect, and there are two function arguments in this function. So the first function argument is reference underscore text. So this is a reference supplied as a text, and another argument is A1, which is in square bracket. It is an optional, and this is used for a boolean to indicate A1 or R1 C1 style reference. So default is true, which is A1 style. Now let's start equals to indirect, and I will prefer cell address here, which is B5, and I will choose the bracket and press enter key. So instead of giving me a B5 cell address outcome, it is just giving me C5 output, which is Shubham. Why it is so? Because basically this example is basically refers to the cell B5 right there, right here. Let me show you indirect B5, which contains the text C5. So it is generating the formula on the back, and which is equal to C5, and C5 contains Shubha. So this is an indirect way of calling it a cell address with another cell address and gets the desired output. The another way is that if I use indirect bracket open and in the inverted commas, if I write C5, which is supplying as a text string value, so it directly gives me which is available in C5, that is Shubham. So there are two different approaches, right? So if I summarize these two approaches, that what is useful and how it is beneficial. So using the double quotes, which is the second example, tells Excel that there is a text inside the double quotes. Is your text string basically, and whereas linking to a cell in the first example tells Excel that the contents of a cell is your text string. So there are two approaches indirect. You can call a cell, and in that particular cell another cell, which gives you the and return output, or you can use it as a text string by inverted commas. So this was the fundamental use of indirect calling a value from a certain cell. But let's define the indirect in different 5 kinds of examples, which you can think that how it can be useful for you as well. So the first example is we can make a range fix when we can use a sum function with an indirect. Normally what happens is, let me show you, for example, this random numbers are starting from B4 till B12. If I copy this range and I will paste it here, and if I just use, for example, let me just delete this first. If I use here some function to get the total of all these numbers, so it returns 538. And for example, in future, if within these range, if I insert one additional row, now for the current scenario, the sum function picks the first cell of a number which starts from E4 and it ends till E12. So we have a range from E4 to E12, right? But for example, if I insert one another cell or a row and I put a number here, so you can see the number has been updated in the sum function, whereas because the range has been increased by one cell address, so now it is E4 to E13. So if we want to some range, but we want to make it up as a fixed range, so in the sum function we can add indirect function to make that certain range kind of an absolute. Okay, so how are we going to do that? Let me show you here. I have already mentioned the solution here. So let me apply quickly some. Then we will add indirect, and then we will make sure that we put the inverted commas and we will select the range, which is from B4 till B12, an inverted comma close, bracket close. So it gives me 538. This is the formula which we have used now. For example, if I insert a new row, if I insert a new row and add a number here, now if I go back to my formula, it is still from B4 to B12. So now it is still, the range is basically fixed. So now this is how you can just compare simple sum with an indirect function to make sum with fixed function. Let us go to the next example. You can also create a dependent drop-down list based on indirect function. So how are we going to do that? For example, if you have to list the fruits name and vegetable names, and what we are going to do is first we will define in the A5 cell our drop-down menu where we have two names, either fruit or vegetable, and whatever the category we will select, either a fruit or a vegetable, the list will get updated automatically. So that kind of a dependent drop down list we want to create so that we can do within indirect approach as well. So how we are going to do that? The first step would be you have to select these two columns. Go to Formulas tab, and click on Create from Selection. Now, why we are going to do that? This is the step because first we will be defining the name ranges of these two columns with the name of header. So the first column name would be the fruit and the second column name of the vegetables. And the name name range will be defined as an indirect function to get the dependent drop down list. So the first step was to select the data, go to the Formulas tab and create form selection and just check mark on top row. Now if you go to a name manager, you will find that name range fruits and vegetables, right? Next part is that now in the category we have to create a drop down list. So for that we will go to data tab and I will click on data validation. So here first we will select list and then we will define the source, which is just to select the two headers, which is fruits and vegetables. Okay. So now here is the drop down menu. I can select fruits in the category or vegetables. Now I want to have a list based on the particular category. So I am on a V5, which is my active cell. Now I will go to again data validation and I will say create a list. But in the source now, I will use the indirect function. So equals to indirect bracket open and I will give the cell address, which is the category in A5 and I will close the bracket. So now you can see that when I open the list here, it only showing me the list of vegetables. I can select any kind of name within the vegetable category. And now if I change the category from vegetable to fruits, and if I open the list now, I can see the fruits list available here. So this is dependent drop-down list, which you can create with the help of an indirect functions, right? Now the third example, referencing the other worksheets and getting the data with the help of indirect function. So first, let me create a month drop-down menu here. So we have 3 month sheets available. The names are Jan 2022, Feb 2022, and March 2022. So we will have a drop-down menu in cell B4. For doing that, we will go to data tab, data validation. We will select list and we have the names available here. So we will select E5 to E7 and I will press OK. Now I can just click on any month like January, February or March, right? So it will give me that particular name in this cell. And based on this selection, what I need to fetch is there are four different kinds of numbers which are in separate sheets. So we have a separate sheet for the month, percentage, net profit percentage. So let me start here, equals to sum bracket open indirect. Okay. And then as you know that when you call a 3D reference, so it contains the name of the sheet, but it has a structure that it first contains an apostrophe mark, then the name of the sheet, right? And then the cell address. So first we need to define the apostrophe in inverted commas, then ampersand, and then the name of the sheet, which is already created. We will pick it from the cell B4 because we know that March 2022 has a sheet name here, and we will again join that with the structure of the sheet references. So again, we will put it in inverted commas and apostrophe exclamation mark, and we will say here B3 because every sheet which is Jan, Feb, and March, you can see here at the bottom the profit number are all in different sheet but are on the different cells same cell address, which is B3. We have got the profit percent, profit number, gross profit percent, net profit, and net profit percentage. And now what we need to change is, so the B3 contains the number of profit which is presented in every different sheet, Jan, Feb, and March. Okay. So there is another example. We can use indirect function with a name range. So there are four regions and they are north, south, east, and west, and we have 12 months. For example, these are sales. So what first step we are going to do is we will select these four columns and we will define a name range for each of the column. So I have selected the data and I will go to the formula step. I will click on create from selection and just check mark on top row and press OK. So now as you can see here, all the total numbers are coming because I am using the name range in each of the column with the help of some function. And the next step is that I have already created a drop down list for choosing a region here. Now the last part is that whatever the region I will select from this drop down value, the sum will become the sum of that particular column will come here. Okay. So how are we going to do that? It's easy. Sum indirect and the address will be A6 and the bracket close. So if I change the region and I can get easily the total of that region as well. So with indirect, you can also use it is in their name range and you can get the desired outcome as well. So this was the fourth example. The last example of an indirect function is that we can create a dynamic chart as well. So for doing that, we need to follow some steps. So step number one, we need a drop down menu, and in the insert, I will insert a combo box. So let me just draw the combo box. Right now, I need to link this combo box with Excel sheet and also to fill that so that the drop down menu have some list of items also. So for doing that, right click, go to format controls, right click format control. Okay. So in the control tab, there are two fields, input range and cell link. So in the input range, we already have defined the four names. So we will pick from H2 to H5 and we will link the cell which will be J2. Okay. I will press OK. So I can select profit or gross per profit percentage. And what I need to do is basically selection on any of the name here. I want that particular chart. So how can I get that chart basically? So it is very easy. I have already created these four charts based on the data profit, gross profit percentage, net profit, and net profit percentage. So the first step is to define each cell a name So that because each cell contains a chart in it, so I will define a name range for each of the cell. So far, for the profit which is in A1, I will go to the name box and I will say that the name which I want to assign is profit, and I will press the enter key. The next is gross profit percentage. So I will just add a name which is GP. You can define any other name you would like to. The third name will be net underscore profit. Remember that the name ranges cannot have spaces, so net underscore profit the end. ठीक है? The fourth one is going to the name box and the net underscore profit underscore percent. Okay, so we have defined the name ranges as well. Also, what we have done is we have also inserted a combo box and connected as well. Now, the next step, number three, would be the selection. Because based on this particular drop down menu, we want to select a chart, but one chart at a time. So, for the selection in this selection K2, we will use a VLOOKUP function. So, VLOOKUP value is the output value. This basically represents whenever a user basically opens a drop down menu, he select any item, the number will generate here. So if the user is select the third item, if user select the third item from the list, so the output cell will select 3 here. And based on 3, we want a net profit. So imagine that if a user opens a drop down menu, if he select the first item, which is the profit, it will be 3 and then it will be as false. So for example, if a user select here, for example, net profit, so this output generates 3 and it is selecting the net interest for profit because net interest gross profit has been defined as a name range for each of the chart. Now the last part is that we will go to formulas and name manager and we will create a new name range which will be based on an indirect function. So first we will define a name which will be choose underscore chart, or you can give any other name you would like to. And then here we will write a formula which is indirect bracket open, and we will go to the raw data sheet and we will say that pick this particular selection. Okay, and we know that it will not pick basically this cell value, it will indirectly pick the name range which we have defined for the chart. So I will close the bracket and I will press OK, close. So now what I will do is I will select a blank range which contains some columns and rows, and I will press Control C for copy and go to paste, and I will say that make this range a link picture. So once it is defined as a link picture, I will go to formula bar and I will say equals to choose underscore chart. So I will define that name range on this image and I will press the enter key. So I will successfully get my that particular chart here. And what I can do is that whenever I can select any name from the drop down menu, it basically recalling or getting indirectly that particular chart, right? So this is cool and easy to create this kind of dynamic chart with the help of an indirect function, right? So I have given you 5 different examples for the indirect function in this particular video, where you can be utilizing the indirect function to make your life easier. Thank you.